Welcome back to Graphically Hip. My name is Sarah, and I had somebody on one of the groups that I'm in on Facebook was asking, I think, how to incorporate an image inside of text. So I'm going to find us an image to put inside of some text, and we'll go from there. So I like to use this Vecteezy is a great place to find images. But there's lots of other really great ones. Pixabay is a good one. Unsplash, I love. Pexels is also really good. So let's just go to Unsplash, and we're gonna search. Let's search beach, just for fun. Grab this image, download free, which is always a bonus, and then normally I would save this to the folder of whatever artwork I'm working in, but for this purpose, I'm going to just bring it straight into this file and embed it because I prefer to embed things all the time. I know it makes my files bigger, but I find if I don't embed things, sometimes when I'm moving files around and reorganizing things, stuff gets lost and then I have to relink it later on and find it. And to me, that's more of a hassle than just embedding it and having a larger file. Plus, if you have any file storages these days, they're like, 2 or 3 or 4 terabytes. You don't really need to worry about the size of your files. So that's why I just embed everything. Beach getaway. So I'm just going to write some text to put this photo inside of, and I'm going to change the font because that's not suitable. Let's go with a fun font this time. Let's try maybe a handwritten font. And sure, that's not my favorite, but we'll work with it. So, actually, we need a thicker font than that now that I think about it. Let's just go back to this one. We'll choose a body, sure. The reason why we want a thick font for this is that so the image shows up in the letters. If we'd chosen the thinner font, you wouldn't see much of the beach, so it would be hard to tell what the image really is. So, yeah, we're just going to stick with this nice thick font. We're going to go create outlines, and I'm working over top of the image to start with. Right now, I'm going to ungroup these because I don't really like how far away these are from each other, which of course I could also edit in the text version of things, but since I've already converted it to outlines, I'm just going to do it this way. And I want to highlight the word beach, so I'm going to make that bigger. So now I have all my text selected, and I want to just make that a compound path. So you can do that by Command or Control 8, depending on if you're using a PC or a Mac. Or you can go to Object, Compound Path, Make. So now this is just all one continuous path. And I want to make this as big as I can on the image, and keeping in mind, if you're not a graphic designer, we do not stretch text. That's a commonly known rule in graphic design. So we're not doing anything like this because that looks amateur, and also because, little known fact, but fonts are also designed by people, and they're designed to look a certain way. So when you stretch or distort the font, you're actually ruining the integrity of that designer's work. So I never, ever stretch text. There are ways to make it work for you if, say, you needed it to extend to here, but those are kind of advanced ways to do things. And to me, for what we're doing today, this is good enough. So I'm just going to make a copy of this. So I'm just going to go Command C for now. I'm not going to do anything with that copy yet. And actually, I'm just going to make this image a little bit bigger because we're going to be adding bleed to this after. So first of all, actually the copy of the text that we made, I'm going to scratch that copy and make a copy of both the text and the image. And we're going to do this a couple different ways. So I'm Command C so that I have that on my clipboard. And then all I'm going to do is right click and go make clipping mask. So now I have that text inside of my image. Now I'm going to go Command F, and that's going to take my text and my image that I copied previously, and it's going to paste them exactly where it copied them from. My next step is to send all of this stuff to back. Actually, sorry, we're going to do that last. First, I'm going to take this text, and now I want to add bleed to that shape that we just made, because we're going to cut this on our Roland. So we're going to go offset path. 0.25 is cool because that's all we need for bleed. And I'm going to say, okay. So now we have this big bulky shape on there, and it's all united together or welded together, depending on how you want to say things. My cutter, I know, is going to have issues with these tiny little things, so I'll just use my direct selection tool and delete these tiny little holes using the delete button. And I would probably delete this too because it's kind of unnecessary. If you really wanted to, you could delete all the holes on the inside, but you don't really need to. So now you're going to take your outside shape. You're going to do the exact same thing. So you're going to select your shape and your image, and you're going to say make clipping mask. So now that image is at the back, and this image is on the front, so we can delete this. Actually, we'll just leave the black text where it is. I'm going to cut that out, get rid of this inside shape because now it's essentially a copy of the black text and we don't need it because we have the bleed there. So I'm deleting that. I'm pasting my black text back, and then all I'm going to do is add the cut contour to it. That was supposed to go in stroke, not fill. And then I'm going to change that to 0.25. So now we have our text with a cut line and the proper bleed. Now, let's do this another way, just so you can see two different kind of ways to do this. I'm just going to back out of this so I can get my text back. There we go. So I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to release that clipping mask and get rid of that. Okay, so we're back to where we started. So now we have our text, which is one solid shape because we told it to be a compound path. And we have one image behind it, which is all we need. We're going to automatically make some bleed off of this file now. Okay, now we have, again, those tiny little holes that we want to pull out because our cutters are not really set up for that. I'm going to take this one out too. So all I'm doing there is pressing delete twice. So delete once will get rid of one node. Press delete twice and it'll get rid of all the nodes in the selected path. Now I'm going to take my outside text, make a clipping mask. So this is kind of a faster way to do it, I guess. And then, yeah, we're just turning this into our cut path again, or our cut contour line. Always turning it to 0.25. And that's it. Now you want to save that as a PDF or an EPS and print it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you learned anything today, and check out our other videos. Thanks for watching.